Welcome to another edition of Arizona Express. I'm your host, Dominic Maggio, and I'm here with Mark Scarp at the Heard Museum. He's the public relations manager here. Now, Mark, how long has the museum been open?
Well, it's one of the oldest private museums in Arizona. It opened in 1929, right here on this spot. Was founded by Dwight and May Heard, a couple who arrived here from Chicago, fell in love with the area, started collecting American Indian art, and started traveling the world collecting art of all sorts. The house that they lived in was about 200 feet from here, and it just right over here. And pretty soon it got full of all kinds of stuff, and their friends suggested that they start a museum. So they did right here. The house is no longer here, but thankfully the museum is, and their collection is still here along with so much other stuff.
That's great. What was the mission of the museum when it opened, and what
then
it is
as
today?
now? It's a museum designed to preserve and promote the American Indian culture and American Indian art and history. Everything in the museum, we have 12 different galleries, is devoted to American Indian culture and art, from ancient times all the way up until contemporary times.
Now, I noticed the area we're standing in isn't exactly look like it's from the 1920s. How many additions have been made to the...
Like most of Arizona, things just kept growing as time went on. There were several additions made to the Heard over the years, and now we're at 130,000 square feet. We're sitting in this sculpture garden, which is a relatively late vintage. The artist that created the sculptures are sitting behind us. Her name is Retha Walden Gambaro. She started sculpting at the age of 56, and she is still alive today. She would be 95 today.
Okay, when we return, we'll find out some more about the exhibits and events. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back to Arizona Express. I'm here at the Heard Museum talking with Mark Scarp. Now, Mark, what kind of permanent and recurring exhibits do you have to offer here at the museum?
Well, our signature exhibit is simply titled Home. It shows the home environment for tribes in the Southwest, particularly in Arizona and New Mexico, for several hundred years, going back more than 1,000 years. In addition to permanent exhibits like that, we have recurring exhibits, and one that just opened within the last month or so is called Picture This. It's named that because it's about Navajo textiles or rugs. Not only do they have beautiful designs, sometimes the artists tell stories with their weavings in wool. Everything from ancient designs and depictions all the way up into the modern day, where one of them is about angry birds.
Now, a lot of the artists are still working today. Can patrons actually purchase any of their work, or?
Actually, that's one of the things we like to say about ourselves. Most people think of a museum as where everything in it is by people who aren't with us any longer. We have that.
Right.
We also have a lot of stuff that that you could actually, if you like the artist that is producing the stuff that you're looking at, pottery, jewelry, or something, you'd probably go to our museum shop and be able to purchase something from that same artist. And a lot of our visitors have that relationship with artists. They fall in love with what's behind the cases, and then they go back into the shop and take something home with them.
All right, well, thank you, Mark. If you want to learn more about the Heard Museum, or plan a visit, or even purchase some art, you can go to www.heard.org. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Arizona Express.